Hi, everybody. How are we doing? Good, excellent. So I have the opportunity to try to wrap up all the incredible stories we've heard today. We've heard stories from women who presided over major industry changes, transformed local government's approach to sustainability, had an incredible mentoring impact to set the next generation of leaders on the path we so need towards accelerating our transition to a low and no carbon world. We've talked about gender equality and social justice, and of course, the urgent imperative to address climate change, and time is going by. So a few themes that have come up today are the importance of persistence in pursuing your ideas and realizing your life's work, the value of listening to and learning from those who we don't agree with, so we can find more common ground to move society forward. It's hard to do, but it's important. So I hope you'll bring back some of the new approaches that we've heard about and some of the knowledge and insight that will support you and help you thrive in your organization. That's when I'll know C3E is succeeding, as we are able to change our organizations little by little. And I know that I will. So just some things that jumped out at me, and there were so many, but Dr. Karen Watson this morning, I believe she was our first speaker, talked about just acting as both a leader and a change agent as the situation requires, making the choice or doing both. Becky Diffin mentioned amplifying, and that's a story that I think is important, and I'll just repeat it briefly, which is, and many of you may be familiar with this, I actually wasn't until recently, and it was the first Obama administration, and I think it was probably Rahm Emanuel, who I don't know personally, but who was chief of staff, who strikes me as kind of an intense person, and the women in the White House on the staff were finding, as Becky articulately described, that their ideas were getting ignored and then recognized as great when somebody from the other gender suggested them. And so they really got together and strategically decided that they would echo one another's ideas and give each other credit. And it went viral because it clearly struck a nerve among all of us out there. So I missed it at the time, but as I say, but it's a great and smart approach, I think. So let's see. I guess that I just wanted to suggest that one other way that we all might amplify, and these are obvious things, but just reminding everybody that when you go back to your organizations, push for more women on panels. You know, I myself have heard over the years, now and again, and much less, because frankly, the C3E network has become an informal kind of, speakers bureau, if you will, as we get to know more and more people and we meet the awardees and et cetera. We generate awardees, I guess. Just insist that, yes, there is a woman expert out there, and really try to find them. Maybe there isn't at the end of the day, but do not take that as like a first, accepted response, because it's just in 99.9% of the cases not true. And then also more female candidates. I mean, we heard that earlier during the hiring process. I think it's just important to remind the HR departments that we want at least a mix of candidates, and frankly, that just doesn't always happen. So moving along through the morning, Zara Summers suggested that you show up on time, sit at the damn table, and thoughtfully participate. And then Maria Vargas advised you to back up your points, and she herself used some stats and data to talk with us and give us a firm grasp on the situation regarding gender and employment. And then, of course, the famous not to accept no for an answer, but to get yourself, find another lawyer. And then last but not least, both Marianne Sullivan and, of course, Sonia Agarwal reminded us that kindness is an incredibly important attribute, and to use that. So I'll be taking all of this to heart in the weeks and the months ahead, and I'm hoping you will be too. So our last awardee talked about the value of mentorship too. And I have a challenge for you all. I want you to look around the room. We have, come on everybody, look around the room. We have young women who might be searching for a mentor. We have mid-career women who might be in a position to both mentor and be mentored, and leaders in their fields who have been mentoring and might still want mentors, mentees, and they might want their own mentors and peers to bounce ideas off of. So I'd like to challenge each of you today, whether it's through connections you make in person here or through a networking platform during or after the event, and we're almost done with the event, so it's going to be after, to forge those relationships and find your next mentor or mentee from the incredible cohort of women and men here in this room. And last but not least, thank you to our hosts, and I forgot where my clicker is here, Valentini and Jeff and the rest of the team from Texas A&M. Really appreciate you put on a wonderful symposium. And thank you to the organizing team, Texas A&M and the Department of Energy and Stanford and the MIT Energy Initiative staff. And then this is where there we go. And thank you to every one of our sponsors. It's been said a couple times today, and I'll say it again, you're very important to us. And if there are any of you out there in organizations who would like to sponsor, absolutely see Valentini or I, and we'll be happy to introduce you to Mickey, also from Stanford, who's here. So we're happy to talk to you about the details there. It's keeps us going, and I think you all are experiencing how special this initiative is. So we look forward at MIT to hosting the C3E Symposium next year. And in the meantime, we look forward to connecting with you through C3E, the LinkedIn group, and social media. And that's it. And now let's have a reception. So thank you. All right.